And that, my friend, was in 2018 that it sold. So it took 6 years from the beginning to the end. This oil painting started with a whisper of an idea, and years later someone saw it and fell in love with it, and now it's on their wall. And today I want to share with you the wonderful, long, beautiful journey of this painting from its creation to where it's landed now. Well, welcome back, friend. If you are new here, I am Heather, and I love helping you find your creative voice, especially through painting with oils. I am in the middle of creating a series, and this is one of them, and it's all about all the paintings that I've done from my beginning of this whole journey of painting with oils to this point in time. And so I'm following along all the different journeys, all the different things that I've learned. We've actually covered quite a few things already. We've explored how fatigue can affect us with our paintings, how we have creative instincts. The last one that I did was all about trusting your gut, and I think we've done things like, oh yeah, all the resources that you use. Like I started with just using acrylics, and that was where it all began. So there's all sorts of fun things in this series. But today I want to talk to you about the next painting, which is called Rest. Hey, I just wanted to let you know that there is a free download below for you where you can go to a free photo vault where you can get gridded images, and they're just these little mini paintings that you can actually download. And there is today a photo of a leaf with some water drops on it, an autumn leaf. So you can go and get that now. Back to it. So this is the photo that I took as reference for this painting called Rest. It actually came about in 2012, which was quite a few years ago now. It's now 2025. It came about because I was on a retreat with some friends, and I had got up early that morning. It had been raining the night before, and there were these beautiful autumn leaves lying on the ground. It must have been autumn. And the water drops were just so gorgeous. I just took some photos of the leaves. And the interesting thing was right away, I could feel a sense of what the story would be about this. I didn't know it was going to be called Rest, and I actually didn't know I was going to paint those photos. But as I was photographing those leaves and the water drops, they're actually near a river. And I just had this sense that the water drops were going to remain and the leaves were going to wither, but they weren't going to disappear altogether. They were actually going to nourish the ground. And I spent a bit of time journaling all about this and thinking about how, water, it just goes in a cycle and it just continues through life. But the harder things that come, which are represented as the leaves, they do fade away. They're still there. They still have some part in your life, but they will actually nourish you. They'll help you grow. They'll help you change. As much as we don't want any of the challenges in our lives, often they will project us into something new and something fresh and something that brings us alive. So that was sort of the feeling behind the photos that I was taking. And of course, not very long after that, I thought, these are just too good to just sit in my camera. At the time it was cameras, not phones. And I just wanted to paint it. So I started painting it back in 2012. Yeah. And then later in 2013, I finished it. It probably took about 3 months. Sometimes when I paint, it's I might be painting a couple of paintings, or, they take a little longer than just 3 months. It will be over a period of time. So I decided I really need to paint this. I just started this journey with acrylics in painting, and I'm doing grids, and I was so hooked. And I went and found another canvas, a really big canvas, and I just went, I've got to do this. So I think this was the last of my acrylic paintings. Oh, I think it was. Yes. The next one, which is next in the series, is my first oil painting. So yeah, I called it finished in 2013, around that time. And it wasn't until I started holding some solo exhibitions when I gathered a few more paintings, and you need about 8 to start an exhibition, that anyone really saw it. It was just sitting at home enjoying looking at it. So I had a few solo exhibitions around 2014, which was fun. And then I moved, and the painting actually came with me overseas from Tasmania to the bulk of Australia, which is the larger island. Moved to Victoria, and I ended up buying a gallery, and I put it in that gallery. And it was on the front wall, and a lady was driving past, and she fell in love with it. And I think she was from a medical practice place of some sort. And she said it's going to go on our wall. And she was so, so happy about it. And that, my friend, was in 2018 that it sold. So it took 6 years from the beginning to the end. That's partly what I wanted to talk about with this particular episode was sometimes it takes time and we need to be patient with the things that we create and the stories that happen for them. I'm smiling because I can think of many of my other paintings that had incredible stories happen and where they ended up. I'm looking forward to telling you more of those stories. But I was so excited that this particular painting went into someone's home or probably into their practice that they really were very happy about and excited about. So this was just one painting. And look, what's exciting about this is I used this painting for part of a course that I did during COVID. And one of the ladies painted a mini version of this painting rest. And she even wrote a poem that went alongside it, which was so beautiful. I'm going to share with you a tiny bit of that poem now, but you'll be able to listen to the rest of it at the end of this video. She's gone on to paint and do amazing things now with her own art, which is wonderful.
Before I started to paint, I pulled out my journal, read through Heather's prompts, and promptly wrote these words: release the grip, embrace the peace, take a breath, and give thanks. From those words, my poem called Rest was born.
So it's really interesting that this painting's called Rest, and it took, 6 years or so for it to find its home. It traveled a journey, it told a story, it had meaning behind it. It wasn't just a painting. Rest is part of the work. That's why I love the process of painting photorealistically, because it slows me down. And I seriously know when I'm having a bad day that if I just go and sit at the canvas for a few hours and rest there and take my time there, it totally centers me and calms me down again and just helps me relax. That's just a beautiful thing. So I think this painting reflects a lot what I get out of painting. So my friend, if you take nothing else from this video, I'd love you to take this, that paintings take time. Let them take the time that they need to travel their journey. And it might be a journey that it just stays on your wall and that's where it needs to be. And that is totally fine too. From the very first brush stroke to finishing it, to eventually maybe letting it go. Some of my pieces took years to find their homes, as you know, with this particular story, and some are still waiting for their home, and that's not a failure. That is part of the journey, and that's the journey that I love. I'm not great at selling my paintings. I love having them around. I can't have too many on my walls though, but I know some of them have still got to find their home. So if you are moving slowly, like I sometimes do, or wondering why something hasn't sold, or you really want this piece to go somewhere, just keep going. Just keep going with your life. You're not behind. You are right on time, and that painting is right on time. It is right where it needs to be right now. So this is just the beginning of the series. We're only a few paintings in, many more paintings to come. Each one brings a new lesson, a new thing that I have learnt, and hopefully this has been really helpful for you today. Remember to check out the photo vault this week. There is a mini painting there of some autumn leaves, probably with some water drops as well. Try your hand at capturing some of the fine details of that. Enjoy that. It's all free. Happy painting. Don't rush, and your pace is perfect.
During Heather's Restore Your Creative Soul program, I had no idea where it would lead me. I thought I was just learning painting skills. But as the name suggests, I got so much more. I discovered my love of poetry writing. Now my poems and stories are intertwined with all the pieces that I create today. My heartfelt gratitude and thanks go to Heather. One assignment we did was called Rest, a beautiful close up of fallen autumn leaves. Before I started to paint, I pulled out my journal, read through Heather's prompts, and promptly wrote these words: release the grip, embrace the peace, take a breath, and give thanks. From those words, my poem called Rest was born. It's time to rest as I move into the autumn of my life. Nature cycles through its seasons, unapologetic, quietly, lovingly. The gentle, warm summer breeze returns with a crispness to wake up the senses that change is about to begin once again. The mighty tree sighs, releasing its grip on the last of its leaves for yet another season. Time to let go of the past and being grateful for a life lived fully. But their time has come. In a final farewell, the leaf in all its glory, colorful display, gently flutters down to rest. The turning blades of grass, now tipped with the slightest white frost, welcomes. All are in harmony, settled into their fate, whether it's transition, rejuvenation, or hibernation. With a sense of sadness, there is also the sweet surrender in gratitude to Mother Earth, who lovingly embraces me yet again.